Hello student, myself Karishma Datta from Saraswat International Academy. I am going to teach to standard 9th English medium, subject social science, chapter number 2, First World War and Russian Revolution, part 3. Before moving with the today's topic, we shall do the revision of part 1 and part 2. Okay students, so when we started with the chapter First World War and Russian Revolution, we begin with an introduction part that how the European countries started capturing the colonies of Asia and Africa, and we have even seen detailed formation about colonization in Asia and colonization in Africa. Then we saw the factor that caused the First World War. And which were the factors which caused the First World War? That was, the first one was economic factor, so the second one was militarism, third one was groupism, secret treaty, feeling of fears, nationalism, role of newspaper, and philosophy about war. That much we have seen in the first and the second part, and even theory was being given to you to write it out in the first part and in the second part. So now we shall start with the First World War topic. Okay students, the First World War. In that first part, in the First World War, 24 nations supported the Allied nation and 4 nations supported the Axis nation. Okay, what they're saying over here, in the First World War, 24 nations supported the Allied nation. Okay, the Allied nations were having the European nations. Okay, and the 4 nations which supported the Axis nation, in Axis nation there was Germany. Okay, and before moving to that, we need to know that the First World War began in the year 1914, 28 July. It began in which year? 1914, 28 July. The First World War began. 24 nations supported the Allied nation. Allied nations were Europe countries. Okay, and the 4 nations, in that there was Germany. Axis nation belongs to that is Germany. Okay. Next. Initially, Germany made noteworthy victory in Europe. Okay, initially, what was being seen, a noteworthy victory. That means Germany started capturing more and more regions of what? That is of Europe. Next. It ruined the French army. Who ruined the French army? That is, Germany ruined the French army. It fought many submarine wars and destroyed the ship of the allied nation. Okay, it fought many submarine wars. That means the war was held in the sea. Many submarine war was being destroyed, and even the ship of the allied nations were being destroyed by whom? That is by Germany. Next. Many soldiers and civilians die because of tank and poisonous gas. Okay, obviously, because of these wars, what was being seen, that many soldiers and even the normal civilian people also died. And what was the reason? That was because of tank and poisonous gases. In 1917, the Russian Revolution started. So, Russia withdraw the war. Okay, in 1917, what was being seen? Russian Revolution was being started. When we see the word revolution, what does revolution means over here? A sudden change in the economy. A sudden change in the economy which is for the welfare of the society or for a country, that is said to be as what? Revolution. So 1917, the Russian Revolution started. So Russia withdraw from the war. That means Russia withdraw from the First World War. Next. Germany was very strong at that time. Okay, what they're saying, that at that time Germany became very much strong, because we can see in the upper points that a noteworthy victory was seen by of Germany in Europe, and even Germany destroyed the submarines of the allied nations. Again, even many soldiers and civilians died in that war because of poisonous gases. So we can see that how much strong Germany was being seen in the First World War. Okay, and it managed to drown an American steamer. that is Tulesnia, in which 147 American soldier died. Okay, now what they're saying that it managed to drawn means drawn an American steamer, that is Luthesnia, right? In which how many American soldier died? 147 soldier died. And who did that? That is Germany, to show what? That is its power to the world. Next. Consequently, America joined the Allied nation for the war in April 1917. Okay, that means till when the First World War was being seen, America did not join the World War, right? The war. And when when Germany drawn its steamer, and because of that 147 American soldier died. After that, what was being seen? America joined the Allied nation for the war. In which year? April 1917. Next. With that, countries like Panama, Greece, Cuba, China, CM joined the aligned nation. Meanwhile, the Panama country, the Greece, the Cuba, the China, and the CM joined the aligned nation. Now, 24 nations joined from first only 24 nations joined the aligned nation, and slowly the aligned nation were having more and more nations to join them in the First World War. Thus, the Allied nation became stronger. Germany army could not withstand the American troops. Okay, by what was being seen that now slowly the Allied nation became stronger. Why? Because many countries joined the Allied nation, and the Germany, that is the German army, could not withstand because they were not able to stand in front of whom? That is in the side of, that is in the side of American troop. It was not able to withstand with the American troops. Who? That is Germany, because Allied nation became stronger. The whole position of the war changed. The whole position of the war was being changed. Bulgaria in September 1918, Turkey and Austria in October 1918 joined the Allied nation. Okay, now Allied nations were getting more countries to itself, right? So what was being seen over here? The whole position of the war changed. Okay, when the war started, Germany was Axis nation was being seen very powerful, but after America joining the Allied nation, the whole scenario of the war changed, and we can see by that Greece, Panama, Cuba, China, these all countries joined the Allied nations, right? Nor even that it stopped, but even Bulgaria in September 1918, Turkey and Austria in October 1918 joined the Allied nation. Okay, now more groups were being seen in the Allied nations. Next, the German leader Kaiser abdicated his position and ran away. What abdicated over here means what? That it escaped from that his position and ran away. The German leader Kaiser abdicated his position and ran away. Escaped from his position, and he ran away because he was able to see that Germany army was not able to stand in the side in front of whom? That is in front of the aligned nation. Next, Germany surrendered to aligned nation on 11th November and signed a ceasefire treaty, and the war came to an end. Okay, Germany surrendered in front of the aligned nation because aligned nation was more stronger than the Axis nation, so Germany surrendered himself, okay, in front of the aligned nation. Which year? Year is not given. 11th November. Okay, he surrendered, and he was made to sign a treaty, and the treaty was a ceasefire treaty, and the war came to an end. Okay, the war started because of Germany, and as Germany surrendered himself in front of the aligned nation, the First World War was completed. It ended over there. Okay, students, so we shall start with the new topic, that is effects of First World War, immediate effect. The first one is destruction of man and material. Okay, what they're saying that over here, immediate effect means that First World War took started from 1914 and ended in the year 1918. So we can know that more distraction was being seen economically, socially, culturally, and development was totally ruined out. Okay, so we'll see the topics, that what was the effects of the First World War, and in that first one is destruction of man and material. Approximately 6.5 crore people took part in the war. How many people took part in the World War? That is 6.5 crore people took part in that. At least 1 crore died. 1 crore people died in the war. 2 crore were injured and around 70 lakh were rendered permanently handicapped, right? Totally handicapped, and 70 people, 70 lakh people, right, they became totally handicapped. 2 crore people were injured, 1 crore people died, and how many took participated in the war? That is 6.5 crore people. Student, this may come to you as an objective also, and for 1 mark also. Okay, next. More number of people died because of starvation and other form of killing and epidemics that broke out after the war. Okay, now war effect is been seen in the first point. Now in the second point they are saying that not only 1 crore but more than 1 crore people also died because of starvation. Starvation means hunger. Obviously, because all finance was being put out in the war. If I can say you that how much the countries which were in the war, their finance were being used to make more production for weapons and more increasing of their army, but they did not thought about that what is going to happen after that. So starvation was being seen, people died because of that. Other forms of killing like big epidemics were being seen, right, broke out after the war. Next, the total war expenditure was quite high. Okay, we can see if the deaths are in crore, so obviously the total war expenditure should be also that is high, and it was very much high. Okay, now we'll move on to second point, second topic, that is the social change. We have seen the first one, that is the destruction of man and material. Now we'll see that is social change. What is social change over here? The change happened in the society. Okay, some change is been seen in the society, that is social change. And now over here, what change we are going to see? It's not a positive change, it's a negative change after the war. Which war? That is the First World War. First point, during the war, since majority of men of all the nations were on the war front, women shouldered the responsibility of the family and occupation. Obviously, right, all countries were increasing their army, right, increasing their army, so more men were engaged in the war front. Okay, they were engaged in the war, and who was looking after the family of the men's? That is the women's. So all responsibility of the family came into the shoulder of whom? That is the woman. Even the family and occupation means work. Even they were looking after the family, and even they were working. Who were working? That is the woman, and that drastic change was being seen. Next, they stepped out of their home and successfully took over the responsibility in the different professional field. Okay, now what they're saying, that they strongly took hold of their homes. They stepped out of their home and successfully they were able to take the responsibility of their family, and even they were successful in the different professional fields. Who? That is the women's, because all responsibility came to their shoulder, so they stepped out from their house and successfully They were able to take the responsibility even of the home and even of their professional fields. Next, the self confidence of of their being equivalent to men enhanced. Okay, obviously, a woman being given freedom as responsibility was being seen on her, she stepped out, and now they were equivalent to the men, right? One positive aspect can be seen over here. The woman who was not given any responsibility, they were only given responsibility of a family. They were only considered as family making, right? But now that women's were now, they stepped out, and now they were equivalent to men, that they can also work in a professional field, that enhance was being seen. Consequently, the demand for women to exercise their franchise was raised. Okay, the demand of women to exercise, that means to lead their franchise, was being raised. That good social change was being seen. Okay, during the war, the production of things of basic necessity had reduced. Obviously, finance was not put in the basic necessity, it was put on the production of weapons. So basic necessity products was not to be seen because of war, and that basic necessity production was reduced. So, problem like scarcity, unemployment, starvation, strike, lockouts, etc., raise their heads. Okay, what they're saying over here, that is, the problems now arise because no production was being seen of a necessity things, and necessity things are very important. They are very important for the society, and that was not been seen. So scarcity means coming, unemployment means what, there was no employment, come, there was no at all work for the people, so people became unemployed. Okay, then starvation, I said, that is hunger. Strike, we know what a strike. And lockout means totally closed down was being seen and raised their head. Next, people suffered a lot, and children condition was apathetic. Apathetic means not proper. Okay, situation became more and more terrible. Okay, and because of that, not only the adult but even the children suffered a lot, and their condition became apathetic, that is, their condition was not at all proper. Whose condition? That is children. And this is the effect of what, that is the war. Some positive aspect was also been seen, but even some negative aspect of the war can be seen on what, that is the society. Okay, students, the important part, that is the Treaty of Versailles. Treaty of Versailles, June 1919. And let me say you that this Treaty of Versailles was the reason for the Second World War. Okay, now we'll see the first point over here. And before moving to the first point, let me say you to student that this topic, that is Treaty of Versailles, I can ask you like in a form of like at a short note on Treaty of Versailles. So you need to, and it can come for 3 or 2 marks in the exam. Okay, this topic can come for 3 or 2 marks in the exam. So you need to learn this topic separately also. Okay, the first point. At the end of the First World War, the unconditional surrender of Germany in front of the Allied nation brought an end to the war. Yes, we came to know that Germany surrendered in the front of Allied nation, and how the way Germany surrendered to the Allied nation, the First World War ended over there. Okay, then next. Then the aligned nation undertook the peace process in Paris, in which some 58 commissions were formed and 145 sessions were organized. Aligned nation undertook a peace process, okay, where in Paris, in which some 58 commissions were formed and 145 sessions were organized. Next, the agreement made with Germany during the peace process was made in the Mirror Palace at Versailles. Okay, the agreement which was being done with Germany during the Paris peace process, right, was made in the Mirror Palace at Versailles. Thus, it came to be known as Versailles Treaty. The agreement was signed in the Mirror Palace of Versailles. That is the agreement which was signed by Germany. It was signed in the Mirror Palace of Versailles. So that treaty was said to be as Versailles Treaty. There were four provisions in the Treaty of Versailles. Provisions थे? That is four provisions. That is okay. That was been seen. The first one, regional agreement. Germany need to sign. That is the regional agreement. The second one was reduction in troops and disarmament. Reduction in troop मतलब आर्मी को क्या करना है, कम कर देना है. And disarmament means not using weapons. Germany will not use weapons and reduce its troop, that is army. Okay, the third one, the arrangement of the distribution of gains end of the war and war fine and other. Fourth one is the other provision. Okay, distribution of gains. Whatever gain Germany got, what did Germany need to do? Germany need to distribute it. Not only that much, but even Germany need to give war fine, and other provisions were also being seen in the Treaty of Versailles. So these provisions were very much important, that which was seen in the agreement, that is the Treaty of Versailles, which the agreement which was being said to Germany to sign. Next, the American President Woodrow Wilson, British Prime Minister Lord George, French President Selemenesco, and Italian President Ronaldo played an important role in this treaty. Okay, the American President, the Prime Minister of British, okay, then the French President and the Italian President, they played a very important role in forming the provision in the treaty. Next, Germany was found responsible for the war. Yes, I said you that Germany was the reason for the First World War. Okay, so Germany was found what? That is responsible for the war. The third point, a war fine of 6.5 billion pound was imposed on Germany. Germany gave 6.5 billion of what? That is pound as fine that was imposed to whom? That is to Germany. Next, it had to give away the Ruhr region of France. The Rhine River had to be opened for the international sea route. The Ruhr region of France, okay, that need to be given by Germany, and the Rhine River, which was not open for international sea route, that need to be opened for the international sea route. That order was being given to Germany. Then next, the Rhineland region on France border was disallowed from being a fortress, as well as the the mineral rich region was given away to France for 15 years. Okay, the Rhineland region, which was to the border of France, was disallowed for being fortress, right? A fortress was being joined, that was disallowed. And mineral rich region, the region was mineral rich, the Rhine River region was mineral rich, and that was to be given to France for how many years? That is 15 years, that Germany need to do it. See, in this important thing can be seen, 6.5 billion pound fine was being given by Germany. The Ruhr region of France Ruhr region need to be given to France. Rhine River should be opened for what? That is international sea route. Rhineland region, which is towards the French border, was disallowed for being fortressed. Okay, and the region was mineral rich region, so that was to be given away to France for how many years? 15 years. That was to be done by Germany, and because of that the Treaty of Versailles was being signed. The agreement was being signed by Germany. Next, most of the German organizations were confiscated Alsace and Lorraine were to be returned to France. Okay, we have seen that the Frankfurt Treaty, France need to give the two regions of it to Germany, and again that regions need to be given back to France as Germany lost the war. Okay, when France lost the Sudden War, thus France need to give these two regions to Germany. Now France was in allied nation, so now these regions which were being taken by the Germany, again it need to return to France. Next, beside this, Germany was to give to France and other allied nation a large quantity of coal and iron annually and as benefit of war. Okay, that means you can see how was Germany totally ruined after the First World War when he surrendered to the allied nation, right? What can be seen over here? Germany was to give France and other allied nation a large quantity of coal and iron. That means Germany area was rich in minerals, so iron and coal can be seen abundant over there. Okay, and because of that reason, Germany need to give the France and allied nation a large quantity of coal and iron annually as the benefit of war. Next, Germany was made to sign these terms and conditions on gunpoint and forcefully, because of which there was bitterness and desperation amongst the Germans. Okay, now what can be seen over here? That is, this agreement was signed by Germany on the gunpoint. Okay, and forcefully the allied nation made Germany to sign this treaty or this agreement. So an aggression of bitterness, like khatas bolte na, that was seen amongst the Germans. Consequently, the German economy failed miserably. Okay, totally the German economy failed. Okay, and totally it was ruined by the aligned nation, and this was the impact of the Treaty of Versailles after Germany lost the war. Next, the last one, the long-term effect. We have seen the first immediate effect was, that is, destruction of man and material. Second was social change. Third was the Treaty of Versailles, June 1919. And the fourth one now comes, that is the long-term effect. First point, there was a feeling of revenge in signing the treaty with the nation that were defeated. Okay, a revenge was being taken by the treaty with the nation that were defeated in the war. Peace could not be established with the treaty. Okay, obviously totally Germany was humiliated and forcefully on the gunpoint it was made to sign the treaty. So obviously peace cannot be seen. The treaty was not at all for peace. Socialist Russia was not given place in the League of Nations. Okay, the Socialist Russia was not at all given the place in the League of Nations. Next, America did not join the League of Nations. America did not join the League of Nations. That's why it can be said that the reason for the Second World War was in the peace process of the First World War itself. Okay, League of Nations was being made for peace. Russia was not given place in the League of Nations. America did not join the League of Nations. The peace process treaty was being made after the First World War. That also did not help, and that leaded or sowed the seed for the Second World War itself. Okay, student, the theory which you need to write today is, that is, in exercise 1.3, question has been given, that is, mention the effects of the First World War. Okay, the answer you will get on the page number 12, and the topic has been seen, that is the First World War. The topic First World War, that answer you need to write, and in the video I have mentioned that topic point wise, so you need to write it point wise. It can be asked to you for 2 marks or 3 marks. okay, in the exam. So you need to write this answer, question answer, point wise. Okay, mention the effects of the First World War. The second one now over here, that is 2.2. It is in the exercise 2.2 question. Write a short note on the events of the First World War. Okay, the answer you will get over here on the page number 12. Topic: effect of the First World War. There are four topics in that. That is, the first one is destruction of man and material. Second one is social change, the Treaty of Versailles, and the fourth one is long-term effect. That 4 points you need to write in this answer, question answer, and it will be coming for how many marks? 3 marks in the exam. And the Treaty of Versailles, when you write the Treaty of Versailles, that can also be asked as a short note, like write a short note on Treaty of Versailles. So write that also. Okay, that you need to write in a form of that, but Treaty of Versailles can also ask separately also in the exams. So you need to write this two theory by writing today's day and date, and this two theory you need to write today itself.